The most powerful AI on the planet just got pulled offline. Not by a competitor, not by a bug, by the United States government 3 days after it launched. If you build anything in AI and you're thinking about it, this is the most important thing to happen all year. And almost nobody is breaking it down what it actually means for you. And I'm not here to hype it or doom it. I run AI systems for a real business myself, so I'm going to give you my honest version and what I think is going on. So let's get into it. So June 9th, Anthropic dropped Fable 5, and the whole AI world just absolutely lost their minds over this model because it really did everything you could ever imagine. One day later, June 10th, researchers catch it doing something weird. Buried in its own documentation, Fable 5 was quietly weakening its own answers when it detected you were working on cutting-edge AI development, secretly nerfing itself and not telling you. Anthropic owned it and said, we made the wrong trade-off, and they walked it back, meaning they took it offline. So then June 12th came around. On Friday evening, Anthropic gets a letter from the US government, an export control order. And because of how broad this order was, they shut the whole thing down completely. For every user on Earth, this is a global thing right now, and which is why it's so crazy. The one thing to notice, every other model like Opus 4.8 stayed online. Only the top two went dark, which is Mythos 5 and Fable 5. So hold on to that idea. 4.8 and the other models are still around. So hold on to that because it matters later. It's here. And you have to be careful which one you believe. The official reason is a jailbreak. The government believed someone found a way around the model's safety guardrails. Which I don't know why this is significant because other models do the exact same thing and it's not a security risk, and there are models that can do what Fable 5 has been able to do just as well, which is kind of crazy. But there's a second story that nobody's really talking to you about, and it's in regards to a China-linked group may have gotten their hands on Mythos 5, the sibling model. And Mythos is a scary one. Fable 5 was a significant step down from this Mythos model that has come out, and it can find software vulnerabilities that have been sitting undiscovered for decades. The fear is literally that if that gets in the wrong hands, which could be China, then it's basically a cyber weapon at that point. Now, I'm going to be straight with you. The China angle is reported, and Anthropic disputes it, so treat it as a claim. Not a confirmed fact, but it explains why the government reacted so hard to this. So where does this leave us in regards to us paying for a model that gets revoked from us when we have a current subscription to Anthropic? Near-term outcome is that Anthropic quickly patches whatever was wrong with Fable 5 and then re-releases it to the public and then gets the green light from the US government. That would be the best case scenario. And the second option is it comes back even more gated or downgraded than what we all expected. But the third reason, which we definitely do not want, is that Anthropic probably fights this in court, and there's actual history here. In the 1980s, the government tried to control encryption the same way they lost. So most likely this could possibly happen again with AI. And fourth, this is actually the scary one. This becomes the rule for everybody. This is global. Anthropic themselves warned that if this standard gets applied across the whole industry, it could basically freeze new model releases for everyone. And the fifth reason would be China would just play the own game and start locking down American models, push the world towards Chinese open models instead, which is, God, that would be crazy. But people are openly saying this might have done China a favor. But honestly, nobody really truly knows the timeline, and if I'm betting on something, it's going to be the first option that I laid out for you. And here's your tell if it comes back in a few days. It really was just the jailbreak. If it takes months, the real reason was China. So really what we got to do here and what this actually all means is, you kind of got to zoom out a little bit because you got to watch the governments and, figure out what they are trying to control all the time. And back in 2022, it was chips and the hardware and all that shit. But now it's these live models that these companies like Anthropic and OpenAI are releasing that, really the technology is advancing faster than we can actually keep up with. So, and the government is going to try to take control of that. And to be honest, this is the first time an AI model has been recalled. And I don't think that this is going to be the last time it happens. So really, what does this mean for you? But out of all of this BS that's happening right now, this is what actually matters for you. Really, yes, everybody has this shiny object syndrome, but what you need to be focusing on is not being married to one singular model. Right now, local models are becoming so much more advanced than you could ever possibly imagine. Or if you simply don't have the processing power for local models, what you need to do is just stick to 4.8. Use your usage. After all of this bullshit just happened, they reset all of our usages, which is fantastic. So take advantage of that. And we gotta keep taking into consideration that an open model is owned, okay? When you have a local model running on your machine, you have trained that model to understand everything about your business and it runs on your machine. Local models are the future of AI, 100%. And here's the thing, you don't have to own everything, but the part of your stack that your business literally cannot survive without. And that's why I'm going to be starting to lean into local models. So really, I just wanted to get on here and just express my honest opinions and thoughts and kind of educate you what's truly going on as well with this. And also, a lot of people didn't mention this either. The broad statement from the United States government was regarding not being able to prove U.S. citizenship for Anthropic subscribers. And so that's why they had to shut Fable 5 off globally. Do have an AI agency. I have been working with clients. I'm actually doing this. I started it at the beginning of this year, and I am going to be keeping you updated with my journey. And as I progress, I hope to inform everybody else who watches my channel. Hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe, like, comment, and hit the notification bell so you can get more information like this. Peace.